we should just start with the most weirdest thing out of them all, because they did announce the item levels for the Faded Race for Season 4, and apparently, Sepulcher of the first ones, the last raid, is
staying the same.
The same? What the fuck? What the fuck?
So if you look right now, I mean, obviously this is still subject to change, so I don't know if we're gonna keep it this way, but so far we're gonna have, you know, the new Mythic Eye levels to be 304 and 311. I would imagine 311 for the last couple of bosses. Yeah. Sylvanas, Kel'Thuzad, right? That was, I don't know if Fate Scrap was higher eye level in Sanctum.
No, Kel'Thuzad and Sylvanas.
So, all right, and then Nathria was probably just Denathrius and maybe Generals, or just Denathrius?
I think Generals too. Man, I keep forgetting. But that's beside all of the things. I cannot wrap my head around the fact that they're keeping Sepulcher of the first ones at the same item level it is currently now. I mean, we're going to this circle, or should I say cycle, or are they like, or is the category like Faded Braids? Is it just the old ones plus Sepulcher? How is this?
Give me a second, because we have like two sets of eye levels. Because I know that there's
Sepulcher of the first ones, and there's Faded Braids.
We have a list of item drops from monster according to the list in California. So loot from the Stone Legion Generals, certain items is dropping at an increased item level, so it is safe to assume it will continue to be the case for the final raid boss in the Arsenals. All right. So yeah, this is like I suspected, the higher eye level for the second boss. I thought this might be like some upgrade bullshit where you can get a little bit of higher eye level, but no, it is what it is. This is interesting because this essentially takes Sepulcher out of the rotation. I mean, you can probably still raid Sepulcher, but obviously this will make the new raids more enticing, because I mean, we talked about it in the last podcast with Guilty and the guys, as and mostly public brought it up, is like, why would you want to do the old raids again? Well, higher eye level for one.
Yeah, and make the current raid not relevant that much because of the gear.
I'm not sure how much. Well, I mean, it's a new season at the end of the day, right? So
so this is the thing. You're gonna have a rotation with these old raids from Shadowlands, but apparently, just to make this incentive on people actually going in there, they're keeping the item levels from the current raid the same, which would imply that, okay, if people still want to get their curve for Sepulcher, they can still do that, you know, no problemo. But if you actually want to progress to get, you know, get some more
that might
power.
Actually make the progress quicker. That's a good point that you're making, because are we still gonna have curve and cutting edge in season 4? Because if that's gonna be the case, it's probably gonna be for Sepulcher. But if you gear from Faded Rays, then you're like gonna outgear Sepulcher and make those achievements pretty trivial.
No, curve is gonna be removed in season 4.
All right.
I think they confirmed that. They confirmed that. What will the idle level of all raids be then? Well, this is the thing. So we should have it on the screen. So the Faded raids are basically Castle Nathria and Sanctum of Domination. And this is how they look, right? When you see Faded raids over there, just think about those.
Yeah, it's...
hey, Dance. Sorry for missing you, buddy. So we have like Raid Finder, you can see it, Raid Finder, Normal, Heroic, and Mythic. And this was our first the debacle on the matter here, because Sepulcher will remain as is today, while the Faded raids, Castle Nathria and Sanctum, will be bumped up into higher item level. And yeah, that brings a good point, because you're still gonna have people not necessarily wanting to get curved, but maybe they haven't killed in season 4 up until season 4, you know, Mythic Jailer or something like that. With higher item level gear from the old raids, they could go back in there and just slash it just for the prestige or something. I don't know. That could be a thing. But it feels to me that they really don't want to retain people to do the same raid and have these higher item levels just to have more of the people joining in on the cycle. Plus, you have to remember, these are all, so I think there's like 3 bosses from each raid on a rotation. Yeah. So it's not going to be like you're going to have the full raid in 1 week. It's all going to be rotational. Gear like
max level that quick, for sure. Fabium says, are they ditching Sanctum of Domination shards for Faded raids? Yep. We're not going to have, they discussed it initially. They might have planned to have it in, but they're going to keep it up.
We can pull that. Let me pull that shit out and give it to you so we can look a little bit at the gearing.
Right. You can also post it in chat.
We're on the topic, yeah.
Are you sure that Sepulcher would not be faded? It makes literally zero sense. That we're not sure actually, because it hasn't been mentioned anywhere. I mean, you would assume it's not faded, right? But it could be. Alright, allowing us to take a look at the item level from the faded raids. On the PTR, Castle Nathria is the faded raid of the week, although you cannot zone in to test it out. Obviously, if Sepulcher becomes faded, because at this point, if like there's backlash against it, I don't see why they wouldn't make Sepulcher faded as well. I actually would like Sepulcher to be faded because I enjoy it, and I think like. But then again, you know, faded is supposed to be like a rotation cycle. So even if they make it faded, then that would completely undermine the current version of Sepulcher. Because why would you do the current version anymore? So that's I don't know how to feel about that.
This is it's a weird one for sure. Just looking at it right now, the details are not in quite yet. This is what just reading off of the article on what they said, right? Where is it? So. Below we have the list. Okay, loot from Stone Legion generals and Sergeant is dropping at an increased item level, so it is safe to assume it will continue to be the case for the final raid bosses of the other two Shadowlands raids as well. Once either Sanctum of Domination or Sepulcher of the First. Oh, okay. I think I know what it is. So, I think. Once Sepulcher comes into the rotation, I think the item level will get bumped up as well, man.
Yeah, but only in the... Okay, so there's going to be two different versions of Sepulcher. There's going to be the faded version, which once Sepulcher is faded, at least the way they said it, so this is interesting because the way they said it was whenever the faded raid is on rotation, in the group finder, you will access that faded raid. So in the LFR, you will not be able to queue for non-faded raid. So this leads me to believe that when you go into the raid, it's automatically faded during that rotation. So yeah. I don't know if you can choose to do it unfaded, and if that's the case, then we won't be able to do Sepulcher on that week. The normal Sepulcher will have to do faded.
But that's so weird. How the fuck will they communicate this? So you're gonna still have access to Sepulcher the classic way.
Well, that's what because I don't think so.
What the fuck?
It's that's why it's weird. So this is an interesting experiment. I think they should definitely do it because we don't know either, and they don't know either what's the best way to do it. If they make Sepulcher faded, we're only gonna have 3 bosses.
Yeah.
So,
I think,
so that week we're only raiding 3 bosses, or do we have the normal Sepulcher? And if we have the normal Sepulcher, why would you do the normal Sepulcher?
Yeah, that's exactly the point. It makes no sense. But I think Fabio has a good point. He says, my guess is Sepulcher will become faded once it's Sepulcher week in the faded rotation.
Yeah, but they said it's only 3 bosses.
Yeah, well, the boss is going to be on a rotation type shit. It's not going to be just 3 bosses, and that's the only thing. Week one, you're going to have 3 bosses. Next year, you're going to have three bosses. All the bosses will be in there on a rotation. So you're not only going to have just Sire and Slush Fist, let's say. When Castle Nathria week rolls in, let's say week 1 we have Castle Nathria, right? We have Sardanatris and Stone Legion Generals. When week 4 comes in and there's another Castle Nathria rotation, then we're gonna have, I don't know, the Huntsman and fucking Lady Nerva, something like that.
All right.
I think this is the mechanism they're going for, because if they wouldn't do it like this, or if they would put on the full raid, it would burn out a lot of people fast.
Yeah, but it won't. That's what they did say. That they're gonna have like 3 bosses at a time that you can access, unless this changes by the time the patch releases.
Most iconic fights, more or less. I think.
Yeah, probably.
I mean,
probably the ones with interesting loot also.
Yeah, but listen, I think if you did Castle Nathria, you would want to do Slush Fist again. Right. I mean, that was like
that was fun for DPSs, but I don't know how a lot of people felt. I didn't hear a lot of good things about Slush Fist for Mythic Raiders. Right. We did it on Heroic, which was okay.
Yeah, it's fine, but we're not only talking Mythic here. It's all difficulties. Yeah. Everybody can join in. Okay. But I found it really fun, and for the most part,
it was cool.
There's a lot of bosses like in between like mid tiers for the raids that could be put into rotation, but there's still this mystery regarding the item level between Sepulcher and the faded raids.